Okay, we got our wing bones out of 2 turkeys. We're going to cut the ends off of each of the bones and then boil them out. Got the wishbones in there too. Get them all in there. It's just plain water. And we'll start boiling. Okay, we got our bones out from boiling. They're come on, focus. Change the water once just to help kind of get rid of some of the fat, and then this is a shish kebab skewer. You want to clean out the marrow from inside the bones. And this end we didn't quite cut far enough away from the joint itself, and so you can see there's still some of the cross pieces from the bone, so we kind of need to break those up a little bit and get them out of the way. Another thing that I've found that helps with kind of clearing these out is a baby bottle brush. They'll fit down in there and bend just a little bit and scrape out all the marrow. Move them around in there like that. Good and cleaned out. Let's see if we can get it to focus. There, you see how there's a few cross pieces on the inside of the bone? Like that? We'll need to break those up. So sometimes the boiling will turn them soft, sometimes they're still just a little bit hard. But you gotta take those out. See, this end's a little... Come on, focus. There we go. See how it's not a nice even opening like that one is? So we've got to stick our skewer in there and work that open just a little bit. The other thing you can do is get your serrated knife again and cut down a little further, but we'll be alright. There wasn't very much of it in the way. If there's any little pieces of fat or anything left on there like that, make sure you scrape those off. Marrow can have a bit of a strong taste to it. It's not unpleasant. It's kind of one of those things that if you don't know what it is when you eat it, you probably wouldn't mind it. but it does look nasty, especially when it's been boiled like this. It's not a common ingredient in cooking, but it does get used more often than not. It's beef bones. Most people use the long bones, like the femurs, and they will actually split them in half and roast them, and then the marrow you use as a fat in your cooking. Now, this one will be a good example. See how the end of that bone is chipped away and split? That's why you want to use a good serrated knife when you're cutting these. If you try to hack through them like with a machete, poultry bones are pretty fragile and they like to split and splinter. And so we'll have to take some sandpaper to that when things are dried up and smooth it out a little bit. We will do one more water change and put them back in, boil them a little bit more, help get some more of the oils out of them. Once the water stops getting kind of that gray color to it when you're boiling, that's when you know the fats and oils are pretty well boiled out of them. You can bleach them if you want, kind of like doing a European mount, but I really don't find any benefit to that. Okay, got our bones out after the last boil, and they've been drying. Let's see how well we can. I think you can really see down in there, but everything's all cleaned out. You can blow through it, and no more pieces of marrow come out. And then we've got coarse, medium, and fine sandpaper. It's 150, 300, and 400, I believe. You might not need all of those, but we'll see. It's nice to have some of the rough edges taken off. Okay, so there's the long, large end of the big bone and a smaller end. And then of the small bone, there's kind of a triangle-shaped end and an oval-shaped end. You can see there's a little bit of a kicker on there that we're going to need to sand off. Okay? So this end, the oval shape, is your mouthpiece. The triangle shape fits into the triangle shape of this end. Okay? And then this down here would be the bell, like on a duck or goose call. Okay? So you fit your triangle piece right down in there like that. Okay? It fits pretty snug. It's not going to fall out. Okay. We'll just hit the fine sandpaper and take off some of the sharp edges. They're not quite fully dry, but they're dry enough. I like to put them together when they're still just a little bit moist, not real wet, but as they dry, it kind of helps them stick together a little better. Okay, so that one's finished. If you're into the artsy kind of things, you can take a fine tip black Sharpie marker and draw on these and make it kind of like scrimshaw. That's kind of neat. But the important thing about these is, like most calls, like reeds and bugles and all that kind of stuff, you blow through it. In this one, you don't. You make almost a kissing sound, and it will cluck like a turkey. Okay, let's get the rest of these put together here. And we're going to have a little bit of a fun calling competition once we get these sanded up and smoothed out. Alright, so we've got a slate or a pot call, we've got a box call, and we've got the 4 wing bone calls that we just made. And we're going to test them all out and kind of see how they compare. Okay. We'll let my daughter try out the box call. Can you cluck with that one? Good. Okay. If you've never used one, it's a curved paddle on top of a box, and there's some rosin on the inside of that paddle. And as you slide it over the thin walls, it'll make this sound. Okay. The slates, you want to keep them clean. Using a little piece of a Brillo pad to help kind of scuff up the surface and clean them up a little bit is good. You want to keep it free of dirt, and you don't want to touch it with your fingers, get it oily and stuff. That will hinder the sound. This is the Turkey Thugs rim shot. When you hold it, you don't want to hold it flat in your palm. Okay, that'll mute the sound and make it sound weird. You hold it out here like this, and then as you so you're holding it out. You hold your striker like a pencil, not quite straight up and down, just a little bit off. Okay, and you make circles. I'm not sure which striker that is, but it came in the pack. This is a carbon fiber one. It's a little bit sharper sound. And then this is a HS Strut triple pack I got some years ago. This one's a wire stick. It's aluminum rod, I believe. And then there's another carbon one. And this is a cross-cut acrylic. A little bit softer sound, get a little bit more of a gentle purr out of it. Okay, and then we'll try out one of these guys. I think that's pretty close. Here, you do the box and I'll do this one. Okay, you keep doing that one. Dad's going to do the pop.
Sounds like a seagull.
The seagull? It's a little scratchy. Dad's out of practice. find some turkeys and go talk to them?
Yeah.
That could be fun. Okay. So that's how you make a wing bone turkey call. We might mess around with these a little bit more and see how they do. But thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe.
You know what time it is.
Well, Pena! We gone.